Hey, Shalom, I'm just checking to make sure the live is on. Hey, Shalom, I'm just checking to make sure the live is on. All right. There we good. Hey, Shalom, Shalom. Um, hey, this is the Howard One by Yasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp. First and foremost, before I do any lesson, I want to say Kal, Halayim, La, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Ha Rakar Kodash Ma. Alright, double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and the elders, and Shalom to you Akim and Akwatim and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. I'm trying this different app. Trying this app real quick where you can show I can show my screen. So it might be a short delay. I'm gonna try to get this lesson done. Let me see the sound on. Yeah, it's kind of a delay, but I want to do a little edification on the topic dealing with the stars of heaven. All right, because you got a lot of confusion going on out there amongst the brethren. Some brothers say it's the celebrities gonna fall. Some brothers say it's talking about the missiles. All right, now let me get this real quick, because if you go into these scriptures, the time that we're in with North Korea, with Russia, now you got Iran talking about attacking Saudi Arabia in the next 48 hours. All right, now you got North Korea talking about shooting all these missiles and may do another ICBM, intercontinental ballistic missile test. But it's the times that we're in. All right, so let's get that. It's Isaiah 9 and 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise. All right, so the ancient times, they used to fight battles. It'd be up close wars in your face. They would fight barehanded, or they would use swords, like Braveheart of the movie 300. A lot of confused noise, right? And garments rolled in blood. All right, so the garments would be rolled up in blood. Bloodbath. That's what they called these wars in the ancient times. It says, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. So this war that's coming that the Lord set up, He created His the waster to destroy those, which is one missile, ICBM missile. But the Lord had these nations make 200 million of them, probably more than that. But the ones that's going to hit this place called Babylon, America, is going to be 200 million. All right, so this is the time we in, the time of nuclear war. But I'm gonna play this clip real quick. I hope I'm trying this new app where I can play videos or something in the background. But I want to go into Matthew chapter 24, where it says the stars of heaven shall fall. All right, that's not talking about the celebrities or Jake falling. It's talking about the missiles. All right, so let's get into this real quick. Let me play this.
Korea fired back. The country now on high alert. And our chief national correspondent, Matt Gutman, is on the scene in Seoul. Good morning, Matt.
Hey, good morning, George. A number of notable firsts here today. This is the first time that North Korea has fired a ballistic missile into South Korea. It landed about 15 miles into its territorial waters. As you mentioned, it's also the largest number of missiles ever fired in a single day by the North. It triggered air raid sirens in one South Korean town. They also fired artillery shells and surface-to-air missiles. Now, they said that this was in response to a massive military exercise being held by the U.S. and the South Korean militaries. The U.S. military calling out the North for its, quote, reckless behavior. And South Korea responding in the way that it has never done before, firing 3 missiles into North Korea's territorial waters from aircraft. Analysts are telling us this is a significant escalation in the Korean peninsula. They say that maybe this is North Korea laying the groundwork for a nuclear test. They haven't had one of those since 2017. George.
Yeah, the situation is tense as it's been in a while. Okay, Matt, thank you.
All right, so let me get back to the missile picture.
Their largest 20 missiles overnight, their largest barrage of missiles ever. South Korea fired back. The country now on high alert. And our chief national correspondent, Matt Gutman, is on the scene in Seoul. Good morning, Matt.
All right, let me rewind this back. Get this backdrop picture. Yeah, man, the missiles, man. Let's get into it. Now this is Matthew chapter 24 and 29. It says, immediately after the tribulation of those days, and that's very important because the time of tribulation, that's what we're coming into. And in the time of tribulation, that's when the mirth of the land is gone, as we see, almost. That's when these celebrities, the daughters of music, are going to fall. The economy is going to crash. The dollar is going to collapse, and these things. All right, time of Jacob's trouble. That's the tribulation of those days, and it says, immediately after the tribulation of those days, shall the sun be darkened from nuclear fallout. All right, atom bomb or mushroom cloud, right? It blocks out the smoke, blocks out the sun. Shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light. All right, so day and night, it's going to be that war. All right, and the nuclear fallout going to blot out the sun. It's called pollution, radiation in the air, and it's going to be so thick that it's going to look like sackcloth of hair, man. Like some thick hair going across the sun will cause darkness. All right. And also with nuclear radiation in the air, if it rains, they call it black rain. It'll cause the rain clouds to carry that soot and that radiation over the different areas and drop down that rain. All right. So radioactive rain. Nuclear fallout, just like in the beginning of the book of Eli. It says, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened. So this is after the tribulation, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Now, by the powers of heaven, it's talking about the sun, moon, stars, and also the earth. All right, that's a power of heaven that the Most High created. All right, so the planet's going to be shaken from the power that's going to come from these ICBMs. It's going to cause the earth to shake to and fro. And this is prophecy. All right, so that's not talking about these celebrities falling. Because you got a lot of Jake that claim to be in the truth, they keep bringing that out, saying that's talking about celebrities. Yeah, look at Takeoff and all these people getting shot. See, the stars of heaven are falling. You're going off. You can't blame it on the elders. Can't blame it on nobody else. If you're doing it, you're going off. All right. It says, now I'm gonna read this too because this will help with the understanding. Because it goes hand in hand with other scriptures. That's not talking about the celebrities falling, man, except for the tribulation. All right. So verse 30, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. See, and then in the midst of World War III, in the midst of the missiles, after the MOTB gets pushed on a world scale, at the world currency, that's when Yahweh Shai is going to show up. And all right, it said, then lift up your heads, because your salvation draweth nigh. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, to my Israelites, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. So the elect, well, the whole world is going to see Yahushua coming in the chariots with power and great glory when the missiles begin to get shot off. All right, and they start putting radiation into the air and ready to destroy this place, America. And what is the Lord going to do? And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. So Yahweh is going to send Yahushua, and Yahushua is going to show up and send his angels to go and gather the elect from around the four corners of the earth, and bring the hopeful elect to Yahushua. All right. From the four winds of the earth, north, east, west, and south, every part of the earth, the elect are going to be gathered. So it says, now learn the parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender and putteth forth leaves, ye know that summer is nigh. So we know, we're seeing the prophecies begin to bud, to blossom. All right, we're seeing the missiles being shot out, the provocations. So we know that the time of destruction is near. So let's get into it. Matthew 24, 29, where it says, the stars of heaven shall fall from heaven. The stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Let's get some scriptures on that. All right. Let me get first. Let me get Joel 3 and 10. No, 3 and 9, because going into this topic with North Korea, man. Joel 3 and 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. And the Gentiles mean these foreign nations. Prepare war. Say they preparing for war. Wake up the mighty men. So Kim Jong-un and all his army and generals, they're part of those mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. All right. So like Russia has General Armageddon. All these nations that's ready for war, they're drawing near. All right. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords. So everything they would put into the agriculture, building up their nation. Instead, they put their money into war and building up the technology for war. It says, and your pruning hooks into spears, and then ultimately, they got missile defenses. They got all these different radar technology, different types of missiles, drones. But also it says what? And your pruning hooks into spears, man. Those spears talking about missiles. All right. Ultimately, Yahweh created the scientist or physicist or blacksmith that created the missiles, the waster, to destroy. Let the weak say, I am strong. So those weak nations like North Korea, they're saying they're strong now. Now you got America tied to South Korea. The least of them shall draw them out. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. So they all being gathered together. All the nations are coming together against America, all right, and their allies. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord, right? We asking the Lord to send his holy angels to deliver us in the midst of that, just like it says in Matthew. All right. So let's get it. Let's go to I'll start from Mark 13, which is kind of like a replay of the same scripture. Mark 13 and 24. Let's see if anybody in the chat and thing. All right, cool. Got one watching. Hey, Shalom. Mark 13, 24. But in those days, after the tribulation, right, the sun shall be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, meaning it's going to be a nuclear fallout. If you watch the Book of Eli, the first scene when he was hunting down that cat with no hairs on and shit, he was in the midst of a nuclear fallout. He couldn't see anything. All right. And it says, and the moon shall not give her light. So that means day and night. It's gonna be like that. Just like at nighttime, when there's a lot of pollution, you'll see the moon turn red, blood red sometimes. And the stars of heaven shall fall, and the powers that are in heaven shall be shaken. How are the stars of heaven gonna fall? It's talking about the missiles. All right, the missiles are gonna fall. And it says this. Let's get that real quick. Bathed in heaven, man. Right? Isaiah 34. 4. It says, Isaiah 34:4. And all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, man. So the Lord is showing you the chemical reaction that's going to happen. The sky is going to be rolled together. What's called a mushroom cloud. All right, it looks like a scroll. When you see mushroom clouds or plumes of smoke, like a mushroom cloud, that represents something nuclear. And this is what he saw. This is what Isaiah saw. This is what John saw, the Revelator. And all their hosts shall, all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down as a leaf falleth from the vine, and as a fallen fig from the fig tree. All right, so yeah, man. Meaning these missiles are going to go up into the sky, and they're going to come down upon the earth. All over the place. For my sword, see, it's Yahweh's sword, shall be bathed in heaven. And the word heaven goes into Shemayim, which means the waters. I mean, it's going to touch those waters. It's on the ground right now, or in the silos. But the Lord's saying they're going to come out of the belly, from the midst of those missile silos. They're going to be shot into the heavens. They're going to be bathed in heaven. I mean, they're going to be up there for a nice little minute, probably 30 minutes, an hour, to 1 hour. And meaning they're going to travel. It's going to come down on the earth. It's like an arrow being shot from one end of the earth to the other. So they're going to be bathed in heaven, shot way off into the sky. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. So whoever's going to be judged to death in America, or Babylon, I should say, are going to be destroyed in that destruction. All right. So it says here, the sword of Yahweh is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, with their riches, Lord, and with people. Meaning the Lord going to destroy all of it. And with the blood of lambs and goats, and the fat of kidneys of rams. All right, and lambs and goats goes into their leaders. And the rams represents their chiefs as well. Politicians. For Yahweh hath a sacrifice in Basra, modern day America, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea, man. All right, and Basra was a great shipping port, just like America. All right, so let's get into it. So you see clearly it's talking about the host of heaven being dissolved, the stars falling, or the star being a missile going up to the heavens, falling down upon the earth, upon Idumea. All right. So now let's get back to it. What do we have? Mark 13, 24. All right, so like, I'm gonna cut the AC on. It's hot in here. Thing about these early morning lives, man, be the only one up. 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning. It says here, Mark 13:24. But in those days after the tribulation, see, that's when in the tribulation, that's when them celebrities gonna fall and lose their job. Look at the lockdown. Look at all the celebrities. They was home on the computers, trying to make money that way. They couldn't do shows. So what you think gonna happen once the dollar crashes and once martial law is put in place? It says here, but in those days after the tribulation, the sun shall be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, the nuclear fallout, and the stars of heaven shall fall. So those missiles are going to fall. They're going to come down from the sky. And the powers that are in heaven shall be shaken. So the elements are going to be melt, and also the planets are going to be moved out of their place, man, from the missiles. That's how powerful it's going to be. 200 million missiles, ICBMs hitting the earth going to shake to and fro. It's going to be moved out of its set order. The Lord set it there so it moved not. But the Most High said through prophecy is that's going to move just a little bit. All right, so he set the earth in place in order where let me see if I can find it. Right, this is Job 26 and 7. He stretcheth out the north over the empty place. Right, what you call it, the North Pole, Iceland, and hangeth the earth upon nothing, man. So the Lord hung the earth upon nothing. And what's that nothing? It says here, 2 Ezra 16:58. He hath shut the sea in the midst of the waters, and with his word hath he hanged the earth upon the waters, man. So the Lord put the earth in the midst of the Shemayim, what's called the heavens or universe. But he got it in place that it shall not move, out of that orbit. But now, with these missiles, once the ICBMs hit, the earth gonna shake to and fro. That's what it means by the powers of heaven shall be shaken. All right. So get back to Mark 13 and 24. The same scripture. And the stars of heaven, 25. And the stars of heaven shall fall, and the powers that are in heaven shall be shaken. All right, shall be shaken. So let's get into that understanding of the stars of heaven falling and the powers of heaven being shaken. Let's start with some Isaiah 34. Really, I'm going to go to Revelation just to get to the point. Revelation 8 and 10. It's Revelation 8 and 10. And the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven. See, not just one. There's going to be many of them. They said that. That's why Mark and Matthew says stars of heaven, meaning plural. It's going to be many, 200 million. But just like you said, he created a waster to destroy it. I don't mean it's going to be one missile. It's going to be many. All right, so Revelation 8, it says what? It's speaking in the sense of an ICBM, intercontinental ballistic missile with nuclear capability. And the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven. So strong, the most powerful missile they can create on Earth, burning as it were a lamp. See, those are the stars of heaven. It's because it's gonna look like a lamp in the sky. It's gonna be moving. All right, and it fell upon the third part of the waters and upon the fountains of waters, man. Okay, so it fell upon the waters, out in the ocean as well. What's going to happen to what's going to happen once it hits those waters? Can cause tsunamis. You know, a lot of death out there in the sea. War from their aircraft carriers, from their submarines, gonna be shooting off nukes. You know, and Russia has the capability of shooting the missiles from their land. All right. And the name of the star is called Wormwood. All right. So the name of that star is gonna be called what? Wormwood. And another word for wormwood is just bitter or poison. All right. It's talking about that radiation. So when it says the stars of heaven are going to fall, it's not talking about celebrities. It's talking about those missiles. And the name of the star is called Wormwood. And the third part of the waters became wormwood, meaning bitter or poison. And many men died of the waters because they were made bitter. All right. So it's going to be a lot of death out there at sea, out in the ocean. All right. People are going to be drinking the water. They're going to be getting radiation from the shit. That's why Russia put a statement out. They said the only humans that can make it through a nuclear war would be mutants. They're going to be mutated. All right. So this goes hand in hand with Matthew's chapter 24. The stars of heaven shall fall, right? And the fourth angel sounded, and the third part of the sun was smitten, and the third part of the moon, and the third part of the stars, so as the third part of them was darkened. And the day shone not for the third part of it, and the night likewise, man. All right, so the whole day is going to be nuclear fallout, man. It's going to be dark. Even at night, you know, we won't be able to see the moon. And I beheld and heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, Woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth, by the reason of the other voices of the trumpet of the three angels which are yet to sound. So all you gotta do is that can be the end of the lesson right there. Matthew's 24, where it says the stars of heaven shall fall and the powers of heaven shall be shaken. That goes hand in hand with Revelations chapter 8. But let's get some more precepts. All right, so it's not talking about these celebrities or rappers falling. It's Isaiah 34. And 4. It says, I already read that. I'm slacking. Yeah, I read that one already. We get Revelation 6. And 12. All right, this is Revelation 6 and 12. It says, And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake. Where's that earthquake going to be from? When the missiles hit the earth. He said they're going to be shot into the heavens. And they're going to come down like figs falling off a fig tree. And they're going to fall to the earth. And it's going to be a great earthquake. And the sun became black as sackcloth of hair. If you understand that, it'd be like passing a big afro or a garment made out of hair in front of the sun, where it's going to be pitch black during the day. And the moon became as blood. What's that? When the moon becomes like blood, it represents pollution. You know? So it's going to be like blood. It's going to be extreme radiation pollution. All right? Toxic. It goes into it again. The stars of heaven, right? And the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely fig. So what's the stars of heaven? Talking about the missiles. All right. Even though the scriptures say Israel is as the stars of the heavens, but it's not talking about that. He's talking about the missiles. Unless Jake gonna fall to the heaven, fall to the earth, you know, like it don't make sense. And the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together. That goes hand in hand with the scriptures. Parted together like a scroll in Revelation 8. All right, what's that? The nuclear mushroom cloud. When it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places, man. So all the islands that's around America are going to be moved as well from the what it's going to, when it push those waters and those islands get moved. And all right, so what was that? Revelation 16. All right, 12, 6 and 12. I'm gonna go all the way to 17. And the kings of the earth and great men and the rich men and the chief captains, as I read in Isaiah 34, the lambs, the bullocks, and the chief captains and the mighty men and every bondman and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. So they're gonna be going into their bunkers. The only reason they would do that is in the midst of a world war or a war, especially when there's ICBMs or nuclear bombardment involved and something that could shake the earth. And every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. They're gonna try to hide in the mountains. They're gonna try to hide in these bunkers that's in the mountains. And said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb, because they're gonna know in that day that's the wrath of the Most High. It's judgment time. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? So who gonna be able to stand in that day? Nobody, except for the elect. All right. So yeah, man. The stars of heaven fell into the earth. What's that? Those ICBMs, man, that we're hearing about. Ballistic missiles, you know. Right now, you got Kim Jong-un talking about ballistic missiles. But those ICBMs, they go from one continent to the other. Isaiah 13, 10. It's Isaiah 13 and 9. Behold, the day of Yahweh cometh. Same thing, right? The wrath of the Lord. The day of Yahweh cometh, cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate. His focus is on America, to lay this place desolate. And he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. So the ones that are wicked in this place, especially 2/3 of Jake, they're going to be destroyed on the soils of America. They're going to become the soil. For the stars of heaven, the stars of heaven, and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. So that's talking about the real stars, all right, that out there in the sky. They shall not give their light. Why? And the sun shall be darkened in its going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. What's that? The nuclear fallout once again. All these scriptures go hand in hand with each other. So I don't see where the music industry can fit in that. You know, they're gonna be destroyed, but to say that it's talking about the celebrities, it's clearly talking about the missiles. All right. For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof, verse 11, and I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, cause America to end, and I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible, and I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than a golden wedge of Ophir. Now, what it said, the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Let's get into it. Verse 13. And therefore will I shake the heavens. See that? The Lord's going to shake the heavens. So the planets are going to be moved when these missiles hit. That's how powerful it's going to be. And therefore will I shake the heavens. That goes hand in hand with Matthew 24 and 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Isaiah 13:13. Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place. See that? He's going to shake the heavens, and the earth shall be removed out of its place. In the wrath of Yahweh of armies, in the day of his fierce anger. You know? Let's see what this one is right here. All right, this is Joel 2:30. And I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire, and pillars of smoke. See that, man? So there's gonna be wonders in the heavens, missiles. People gonna be looking up at it. You know, see chariots. You know, but on the earth, it's gonna be what? Blood and fire mingled together, and pillars of smoke. That's from the Lord's view, looking at the earth. Or from the elect, they're going to be seeing that when they're in the chariots. The sun shall be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood. So the sun turned into darkness, they're talking about the nuclear fallout. You're going to be able to see the sun. It's like in the Persian movie, 300. It was talking about arrows, but spiritually, it always resonates with me with the missiles, because it was like, our arrows shall blot out the sun. So, you know, it's gonna be so many missiles shot, and that smoke gonna be the plumes of smoke gonna be so vast that's gonna blot out the sun, make it unlivable. All right. The sun shall be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood before the great and terrible day of Yahweh come, man. All right, so now let's get this. Ezekiel 32. Let's see what that is. And 7. All right. Wow. Ezekiel 32. 7. You can read Jeremiah 50, you know. Ezekiel 32:7. And I will put thee out, and I will cover the heaven, and make the stars thereof dark. All right. And I will cover the sun with a cloud, plumes of smoke, and the moon shall not give her light. All the bright lights of heaven will I make dark over thee, and set darkness upon the land, saith Yahweh. And I will also vex the hearts of many people, when I shall bring the destruction among the nations into the countries which thou hast not known. All right, so where we scattered at, that's where the Lord is going to bring fear and destruction. Right, construct it and he's going to deconstruct it. All right, so I'm going to get one more precept, man. It should be clear. That scripture in Matthew 24 and 29 is not talking about these celebrities and singers and rappers. All right, Matthew 5:20. His severe wrath shall he sharpen for a sword. So the Lord sharpened this weapon, these missiles, for his wrath. All right, and to sharpen means to prepare, you know. So he prepared these missiles and made them equipped, make them unstoppable. And the world shall fight with him against the unwise, Then shall the right aiming thunderbolts go abroad. So that's from the chariots. They're gonna be right aiming thunderbolts like lightning, zapping people. And from the clouds, all right, from the chariots. As from a well-drawn bow shall they fly to their mark, man. All right, so the missiles and the chariots gonna be zapping people, man, and not missing. And it ain't gonna be like on the World of Worlds and they was shooting all over the place, hitting cars. No, they gonna be hitting people. And hailstones, the of the ICBMs, the nuclear warheads, and hailstones full of wrath shall be cast out of a stone bow. And that stone bow is talking about the missile silos. All right, and the missiles. So the missiles gonna be shot, and they're gonna drop warheads like hailstones. That goes with Revelation chapter 9, 200 million. And the water of the sea shall rage against them, those tsunamis, and the floods shall cruelly drown them, man. Yea, a mighty wind shall stand up against them. That mighty wind goes into Revelation 7. And there's another scripture that says it's going to be as a besom. You're going to sweep this place with the besom of destruction. Like a sweeping, destructive wind and fire going to go across this place. That's the main thing that destroys people in a nuclear assault would be the winds. It can scatter and separate a body. All right, the blast, and then the fire, then the heat, then the radiation. And it says, yea, mighty wind shall stand up against them, and like a storm shall blow them away. Thus iniquity shall lay waste the whole earth. So it's going to be all over the earth, World War III. And ill dealing shall overthrow the thrones of the mighty. All right, so the Lord going to have these nations deal ill with America, overthrow their thrones. All right, so let's go back to Matthew's 24, 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days, so after everything, all hell breaks loose, the MOTB is pushed, and people make their choice, Revelation 13, and martial law, race wars. You know, that's why the Lord said the end is not yet. It says, then shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light. All right? Why? Because of nuclear fallout. And the stars of heaven shall fall from heaven, and the powers of heaven shall be shaken. That means the earth gonna shake to and fro. And it's not talking about celebrities falling. It's talking about the powers of heaven, meaning the planets in America, in the earth, is gonna be shake to and fro. All right. So I hope this is edifying, man. And I'm out. Shalom.